This episode is brought to you by Indeed. Stop waiting around for the perfect candidate. Instead, use Indeed sponsored jobs to find the right people with the right skills fast. It's a simple way to make sure your listing is the first candidates see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs have 4 times more applicants than non-sponsored jobs. So go build your dream team today with Indeed. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
Pepsi Prebiotic Cola in original and cherry vanilla. That Pepsi taste you love with no artificial sweeteners and 3 grams of prebiotic fiber. Pepsi Prebiotic Cola. Unbelievably Pepsi.
This is the TJ Show, and we've got Nathan in Knoxville, Tennessee. Hey, Nathan.
How's it going?
Sounds like you're taking on some big weekend plans, huh?
Yeah, so last Friday I woke up and decided to tell my wife that I was going to build her a chicken coop because she's been asking for chickens for 3 years. So we have taken on the project of building a chicken run with a chicken coop.
Nice. Okay.
You know how to do that?
Yes.
Good
I
for
paid attention
you.
in shop class.
Yes, seriously.
That's
now,
awesome.
Are you putting raccoon-proof locks on the chicken coop? How are you dealing with that? Because you know they know how to open up locks, right?
Yeah, there's a couple things we got in place to keep predators and stuff like that out.
Okay, are you putting a ring cam or some sort of a camera to watch what they do in case an animal tries to get in?
Actually, oddly enough, the chicken coop door that we ordered from Amazon that was abruptly thrown onto our doorstep has actually got a camera attached to it. So,
yes,
yeah,
that
so
is
there's
awesome.
actually a camera on the chicken coop door, and it's got night vision and everything else like that on it, so we can keep an eye on the chickens.
Can you imagine? We've got surveillance on chicken coops now. It's amazing. I know that because our friend Brian has a duck coop, and they were having a problem. A raccoon was picking off their ducks, so they put a camera back there, and they saw this waddly little raccoon get over the fence, and then he'd go in. It was wild. It was like you were watching TV. It was so fun.
That's horrible.
I mean, it was terrible.
Raccoons are scandalous.
They are.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We keep learning that more and more the more we do this show. So what's the reason for the chickens? Is it survival? You think the world's going to end? Is it just you like animals? You like fresh eggs?
Fresh eggs.
Yeah, what is the reason?
She happens to really love animals, one, and then there's 6 of us in our family, so we go through a lot of eggs.
Oh, wow.
And with egg prices right now, we're like, because we have eggs for breakfast almost every day. So it's like, let's go ahead and take care of this and save some money.
Have you gone to Costco? Have you seen those eggs?
Yeah, but they're still expensive when you think about it. If you put the price on it,
versus
'cause
free.
your chickens will pretty much. If you put the price on it, your chickens will eat your scraps and stuff like that, all your leftovers and whatnot for the most part. And so you've got feed right there, and it's not hard to take care of chickens.
Wow.
And if they free range in your backyard, you've got dogs and stuff like that. If you keep an eye on them, they take care of the bugs and ticks that are on the ground so they don't get on your pets.
Yeah,
Nice.
do you know, that is the thing that I am almost completely sold on with chickens. As much as I don't want to take another thing on because there's just too much going on in life and the eggs are easy to get at the grocery store.
Sure.
The fact that they eat ticks is one of the greatest things on their resume.
Yeah, they're definitely handy little things. And then once they finish producing, you can just cook them up and eat them for dinner.
Oh, well, that's not the... so are you planning on eating them?
Eventually, it's going to be a couple of years before it happens because they'll lay eggs for anywhere from 5 to 10 years. So we're going to have them for a little while before they get sautéed up or fried or smoked or grilled.
Yeah. Well, you'll be nice to them until that day.
Exactly. I mean, It's a circle of life.
Yeah,
Sure.
just don't name them.
Yeah, that's what.
Good luck.
Oh, no, they've there's a couple of names. There's that black and white bill that has been named Cruella for Cruella de Vil.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, have Cruella for dinner in a few years.
For sure.
She deserves it.
Well, guys, it's awesome talking to you guys all the time, and I hope you guys have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you for listening, Nathan.
All right,
Always great to hear from you. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Kenneth in Stockton, California. What can we do for you today?
I just want to say I love your guys' show. I listen to it every day. There was even one point, I don't know what happened. I lost you guys for like a couple of days, and it was a different life for the few days. So I love what you guys do, J-Bo, Heather.
Kenneth, how nice of you to call and share such nice words about the show.
It's very kind.
Tell me about you. What is the most exciting part of your life right now, Kenneth?
Oh, man. I got 2 beautiful boys. You know, they're the best teachers. They teach me things about things that I don't even know about myself.
Wait, give me one.
You thought you had patience, but oh man, you learn that you have no patience before, but
Yeah. You know what's so funny? I always go back to patience because I'm right there with you, Kenneth. It is the biggest. I thought getting stuck in like Boston traffic was grating on your patience.
Oh.
That is like so easy for me to deal with now. I see people honking. I'm like, what are you honking about? Do you have kids? Do you know? Have you seen anyone with kids? Like, this is frustrating for you, bro.
Yes, and one thing they taught me is you got to really control what you could only control and let go of what you can't. Because those kids, they'll test you every day and teach you every day. So.
I know. You're so right. It's like, you know, we could be in a pretty high stress job here with what we do. There have been things where I would have normally gotten upset about it, but I'm like, yeah, it's not my kid yelling at me that I'm the worst dad in the world. So this is going to be fine.
You'll be okay. You'll recover.
But you're right. That only comes from sort of being put through the fire.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys a question?
Well, do you need money? What is it?
No. Where are you guys located?
Oh, yeah, that's a big question. So we're on the East Coast. We're near Philly.
You guys talk about the East Coast traffic. And, you know, I hope one day you guys get to witness the West Coast traffic.
No, I heard it's
Maybe
crazy. I'm good on that.
Oh, no.
I'm good on that.
No, Kenneth, I have been in it. So a lot of my family lives out on the West Coast. One of my very best friends lives in Los Angeles. And the place is literally, like, I think less than 10 miles away. We get in his car. We are in the car for 2 hours getting to a dinner. I couldn't believe it. It was almost comical.
You're better off walking.
Yes.
For that. Yeah.
No, seriously, it was ridiculous. If we did a light jog, we would have gotten there faster. I've never seen anything like that. And I thought we had it bad when I was living in New York. It's like there's no contest. It's insane.
Yeah, I'm about to put myself through that this weekend. So I'm taking the kids to Disneyland. So it'll be worth it.
Wow.
Is what I'll be saying to myself.
Side note, does it make a difference that we're on the East Coast and you're listening on the West Coast?
Oh, man, I love it. I'm getting goosebumps right now. It feels like I'm talking to celebrities. But it's like the closest feeling. So it's really cool.
Yeah.
I love your guys' show. I get to connect all the time.
Be careful about the celebrity talk. J-Bo and I can handle it, but Kenny, we don't want it to go to his head. You're not going to get too big for us.
Well, I will eventually, but yeah, we still have some time.
See what I mean? This is the TJ Show, our news. It sounds different around here. Kenny reads through every story he can find, and then he brings us the most interesting ones. Kenny, what's happening on the planet today?
Imagine you're in your home, and all of a sudden you hear a large bang that sounds like an explosion. Next thing you know, there's a large chunk of dirty ice resting on your couch.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it appears ice fell from the sky, busted through this man's roof in Los Angeles County, California.
You said dirty ice.
It did appear dirty. That's how he described it.
And you know those planes, right? You hear those stories. Sometimes the bathroom gets released, right? And then everything's so cold it freezes. Could it be that?
They don't dump their waste in the sky. What happens is there could be a leak in their septic tank.
It's an accident.
And then,
it's an accident, all right, literally.
is an accident that will freeze and then it will break off of the plane. And this guy's house happens to be right underneath where planes descend into Los Angeles Airport.
So gross.
That's disgusting.
It makes me grateful. Like if my dogs have an accident, I think that's bad. But at least I know where that came from.
Who pays for it then? Like, is it your insurance, your home insurance, or is it the airline company?
That's a great question. We do know that the FAA has launched an investigation. They want to get to the bottom of the situation. I did some looking into this. It's most likely from an airplane in some way, shape, or form, but there is something called a mega cryometeor. It's a natural phenomenon that actually it's similar to when hail drops from the sky.
Really?
But there's something that happens where these chunks of ice can become very big and fall from the sky. But the fact that this was reported as, quote, dirty ice, if I were a betting man, I would say it came from a plane.
Wait.
Because then you don't know what plane it came from, right? So now you have to go figure out which one has a leak.
It would have to be some sort of a rock that got moisture from our planet because they wouldn't have had water in outer space.
No, but the same way rain falls. Rain evaporates and goes up into the air and comes back down. Sometimes it can turn into hail or other forms of ice. And there's something called a mega cryometeor.
Right.
It doesn't come from space. It's similar to rain.
Imagine though, what if there was some sort of outer space water bubble that got to us, and then it like started exploding with little critters? That'd be so sad.
Oh, trippy.
I know, man. That'd be
That's not
terrible.
part of the story.
I know.
That's not part of the story.
I'm making it up.
Yeah, they did say data from flight radar showed that there were planes flying over the house around the same time of the incident, so likely came from a plane.
By the way, speaking of planes, there's a story that has gotten more and more popular over the last couple days. It's the story of these two pilots that were meowing and barking at one another. So they're going back and forth, and then the air traffic control says this.
You guys need to be professional pilots.
Be more professional.
Yeah.
Meow, 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 meow.
They triple meow at him. And then throw a bark
They
in
bark.
there. Well, we got a message from Gary, also known as Crash, on the radio on one of our stations in Lawton, Oklahoma.
Yes, sir.
And listen to what he said.
Hey, y'all, it's Gary, and I just want to leave a message for the Meow Meow Woof Woof pilot crew. Just tell them, meep, meep. That's all. Meep, meep.
Yeah, see, he's on the radio and he does meep meeps. So he's like, well, let me throw that in there. Thank you very much for that, Gary. Kenny, what else do you have?
There was an article posted on CNBC.com. The author describes being asked by a friend how much money he made, and he felt awkward about the situation. According to a recent survey, 39% of Gen Z workers discuss their salary openly at work, compared to 30% of millennials and 22% of Gen X. So he went then to etiquette experts to discuss how you should handle that conversation, whether you're being asked how much money do you make, or you want to ask someone else how much money do they make.
How do you feel about it, Kenny?
I feel awkward about it.
Okay, Jabo, how do you feel about it?
I used to feel awkward, but I think those conversations are helpful.
Yeah, I think it depends on the person's experience that they've had with money and their maturity level. I've seen both sides of it. I've seen relationships get destroyed over salary conversations, and I don't even think they should have been destroyed, like not even close. And then I've seen people flourish and sharpen one another because they've been able to talk about it. But I know there are certain people I can't talk about money with and certain that I can. I always try to push people towards understanding money better because I think at the end of the day, it's a tool. And so, it's like taking a shower. There's a right way to take a shower and a wrong way to take a shower.
Yeah, you're supposed to scrub your body. That's the right way.
If you just stand under the water, you're not really getting clean.
No, I agree. And I think the way that relationship flourishes is that person who might want to make more money after they find out the other person's making more money can ask that person like, hey, how do I negotiate?
Yeah.
Or what can I do? What kind of skills can I stack? And so that is that's helpful. I've heard a story where a young lady was interviewed for a job and the employer said, how much do you want to make? She gave a number. One of the women completely logged off the Zoom, called the young lady and said, you need to be asking for more. So mind you, she is part of the hiring team, but she said, this is the reason why. And she helped her negotiate her price because
Absolutely.
she knew that young lady needed to be making more. So I think conversation is healthy. Like TJ said, as long as you can flourish with it and that relationship doesn't fall apart.
Well, I had an amazing boss who helped me to see money in a completely different way. Elvis Duran, who hosts a radio show, and I worked for him for a lot of years. He was so open talking about money. I used to get really uncomfortable and awkward, and he just understood it. And I was like, oh, maybe there's another way to look at this. And I would say if you're wondering, well, how do you get there? There's a great book called The Psychology of Money.
Oh, it's trippy. Once you read that book, you learn so much and you realize the way money's laid out. Yeah, it's a game.
And I'm so glad you read that because we were talking about it on the show. We just have to learn how to use this tool that is a part of the system of this world.
Yeah.
We have to. Stewardship is an important part of how we live. And once we figure that out, there's a lot of peace that comes with this. It doesn't solve all the problems that we have, but there is more peace. At least I'm convinced of it.
When it comes to someone asking you about your salary, the intention matters. Asking out of curiosity or gossip is seen as inappropriate. It's better to ask for a range rather than a specific number. And when you're asked that question, remember, you're not obligated to share if you're not comfortable with that. It's perfectly acceptable to set boundaries and decline. But again, share a salary range instead of an exact number and keep the answer general and tied to experience or qualifications.
Read that book. You'll probably be starting a business before you know it. It's amazing what's in that book. Kenny, what else do you have?
There was a big movie industry convention happening in Las Vegas over the last couple of days, CinemaCon, and there is a lot of news. Christopher Nolan's new movie, The Odyssey, based on the 3,000-year-old poem by Homer.
It's funny, new movie.
I think this is an original idea, even going back that far to cover this. $250 million budget. It's his most expensive film ever.
Unbelievable.
It's his first movie shot entirely on IMAX 70mm camera. No franchise, no sequel, no superhero IP, and the source material, as I mentioned, a 3,000-year-old poem.
Okay.
See, the thing that sells me on it is the name Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
Because he's made some of my favorite movies, including Batman,
Dark Knight, yeah.
The Prestige, the movie that I love.
Inception?
Yes. So, I'm sort of at baseline bored. When you bring up Odyssey, I'm like, high school. Are you kidding me? You can't get through 3 words without getting confused. But if he's doing it...
You're intrigued.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they started selling IMAX tickets in these special 70mm theaters about a year ago, a full year before the release. They sold out in 12 hours.
Unbelievable.
The film made about $2 million in ticket revenue before even a commercial aired for the movie.
He's one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. There's no doubt in my mind. He's so gifted at what he does, and he loves movies.
So a $250 million budget. His last 5 films averaged...
Who gets a $250 million to make
insane.
a movie? It's wild.
Well, he's got good return on an investment. His last 5 films averaged $680 million worldwide. Oppenheimer made almost $1 billion. It had an R rating and a 3 or to 4 hour runtime, and it was
wild.
about a physicist. So if anybody can do it,
I agree.
it's him. Other things announced: new Street Fighter movie, and the trailer dropped. It looks awesome.
That's cool.
You played Street Fighter, right?
Yeah.
All right, give it to me.
For sure.
Give me the sound. Kick.
Oh, I'm like, which one?
Yes, that's it.
There you go. So many sounds.
Wait, do it again. Dude, that's like as familiar as the sound of rain from my childhood. It's that sound. Yep.
They're actually those are Japanese words.
What does Aru kick mean?
So it's Hadouken,
really?
and it means wave motion fist.
Oh, so it's like calling the move.
Yeah, the move that the character is using. There's also Shoryuken.
So it sounds like they're making the same sound, but it's actually different words.
They're different words.
That's
that
amazing.
one means rising dragon fist.
So literally it's calling out the move.
The move that you're about to do in the game.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Yeah, they announced also Top Gun 3, so we're going back to that.
And the second one was like a
huge.
Brilliant
I loved it.
hit.
Really, really good. And I think I'm most excited about the new Spaceballs 2 trailer.
Yes. This guy, Mel Brooks, 99 years old, and he's still doing it.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Kenny, what else do you have?
Police in Westchester County, New York, stopped a phone scam targeting a 75-year-old woman and arrested 2 suspects. These suspects were allegedly trying to steal $25,000 from the victim.
How'd they do it?
So the scam started with a fake pop-up message on the woman's iPhone urging her to call Apple support. Then they claimed that her bank accounts were compromised. They instructed her to withdraw cash. Thankfully, this woman smelled something fishy. She told a neighbor about it. The neighbor said, call police. But police didn't stop there. They set up a whole sting operation to catch these individuals trying to steal from this older woman.
It's a lot of work. Also, I am a little concerned that there was a pop-up notification on her iPhone, because usually Apple's really good when it comes to preventing any kind of like viruses or things like that popping up on your phone.
It's usually not from the iPhone as far as I know. It looks like it is. Like you'll be on your internet and it'll come up with something that looks exactly like the iPhone. And I know this because unfortunately I know an older woman who fell for this trick. My mom. She was on her computer, and it was something to do with her printer. And so they made the alert look like it came from Apple. She clicks on it.
Yep.
Next thing you know, she's on the phone with someone in another country who has taken control of the computer. She freaked out and unplugged it. And then that's how she got out of it, and then had a friend come over and help her figure that out. Now, the weirdest part about that My dad was convinced that it happened because my mom left the window in the computer room open. Not the window on the computer, like the actual window in the room. He was mixing up windows, and he's heard about, like, don't click on that window. He thought something about, I'm telling you.
I don't believe you.
It's been a long journey. This is the way my mom described it, so I can only take...
I don't.
Isn't your dad a window contractor?
Yes.
No.
And so
Wow.
it's possible in the midst of having her computer taken over, he was sarcastically joking with her, but my mom, again, who's come a long way, in all fairness to her, she has not been scammed in a very long time. Go on, Kenny.
Well, moving on, a Los Angeles mailman named John, after 42 years serving the United States Postal Service, is retiring, and more than 200 people that he served showed up to his retirement party.
That's awesome.
The superstars in our neighborhood. I know Tim, the post office guy near where I live. This guy, everyone knows him. Doesn't matter where you see him. He drives around in a convertible. You wave to him, and hey, it's Tim. How you doing?
Yeah, I had a conversation with someone who retired from the post office a few days ago, actually, and he said the favorite part about the job was actually delivering the mail and being out on the street. Of course, there's always office politics, but he really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and we're very appreciative. We know that's not an easy job.
Yeah, he apparently made himself a part of these neighbors' lives. And interestingly enough, at his retirement party, neighbors met each other for the first time and made new friends because of the connection to John.
Oh, that's awesome.
They bring the dogs?
I don't know if there were any
That's
dogs.
my favorite thing.
It was at a bar. They might not have allowed dogs.
I love when post people and dogs are friends.
Yes.
Kenny, thanks for keeping us somewhat informed.
That's what's happening.
You know, at one point, there was an issue where people were killing elephants and rhinos to, like, saw off their horns and keep them as trophies.
Yeah, use it for jewelry, sell it, things like that. Yeah.
Right. And so the world is just so weird. It seems like people are getting away from that because they're finding clever ways to catch these people. They're putting, like, micro-tracking devices and marking these animals. So it seems like there is a trend moving towards live bugs. And we've read these stories. They've been popping up here and there. There's a guy from China. He was arrested at an airport in Kenya. He was attempting to smuggle more than 2,200 live garden ants in his luggage. He was just sentenced $7,700 and 12 months in jail.
Wow.
Over smuggling bugs.
Yeah.
Can you believe this? And it's like, you go, why would someone want that many ants? Well, apparently, a new type of trophy is finding these exotic bugs, and they put them in these big tanks. And I guess, like, I don't know, if you're rich and you want to see this, you get to watch the ants make a colony, which is cool.
Right, it is cool.
But they have National Geographic shows that do this. Like, there's a way to see this. You don't need it in your living room.
Right.
And this is something they felt like they needed to smack a big sentence on because they want to stop this. It's like, who would have ever guessed that this would be a problem? Thousands of ants.
Can you imagine having a display like that in your house and somebody just like trips and oopsie, and it just all those ants all over your floor?
Well, I have a similar story in a way. So I guess ants, you know, the little tiny ones, they got into my in-laws' house. They love their kitchen. And so my kids go and hang out with the grandparents. Well, they must have brought a bag to my house, and the ants made themselves comfortable in the bag. And so yesterday I'm in my kitchen, and I go, you've got to be kidding me. I see all these little ants. But I set up the bug extermination industry is a cruel one, but it's also a very clever one. And so I got a bunch of those liquid ant bait traps.
I know
Have you ever
exactly
used
what you're talking about.
You've used them.
Borax.
Never used it, but I've seen them.
The way this works, I don't know who figured this out, but they have these little things. It's like a sugary, sweet poison.
Yeah, clear liquid.
The ants take it back to their colony, and there's like a queen ant in there or something. And then it poisons the ants that have it. If you've ever had them, like, it will fill up real fast. 20, 30 ants will immediately they'll all take it, and they take it back to their house, wherever that is, in your house. It infects the entire population and exterminates them. So you get the ants convinced they're getting something nice like a lollipop. They bring it back to their house. It kills everyone.
Yeah, it is weird because it gets a little worse because the trap attracts the ants.
Right.
You see more of them at first. You're like, what the heck is this? But it does do the job.
It's kind of like therapy. You know, it gets worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, in this case, it never gets better for them. You know, you're the saying, yes, queen.
Yeah.
This is, no, queen, don't eat that. This is terrible. So, yeah, well, glad they're taking care of the ant trafficking problem in our world. This is the TJ Show. few moments ago, we were reading a story about people and how they feel talking about money. Well, Kenny hit the streets and just started talking about money with people.
Yeah, very uncomfortable for me. Thanks for this assignment. How much money do you make?
$10,000 to $20,000 a month.
I like that he thought about it. He's like, who is this guy?
Right.
Yeah, right, I'll just roll with it.
That's pretty respectable. What do you do for a living?
Landscaping.
Do you like your job?
I love it.
How much money do you make?
I don't make a lot of money.
Yeah, you think you could use a little bit more?
Yeah.
I think a lot of us feel that way. I feel that way too.
Yeah.
What do you think about the old saying, money can't buy happiness? Do you
It
believe in
never
that?
could. It never could.
Why do you feel that way?
Because people are utilizing money in their own way and only care about themselves.
That's a good point.
They're greedy.
There does seem to be a nice plethora of greediness around town.
Yeah, there is a lot of that.
Yeah.
They're only keeping it for themselves. They're only thinking about themselves.
How much money do you make?
It is a funny question.
Me personally,
That dude's like, yeah, answer it, man.
how much do I make? Probably about 100.
What do you do for a living?
I work in a federal prison.
Oh, really? Do you enjoy your job?
I do, yeah.
Do you believe in the saying, money can't buy you happiness?
I do, yeah.
What would you recommend for that kind of happiness?
I'd say live a simple life. Try to get in touch with your spirituality and have a higher purpose than just finding all the pleasures you can in this world.
Man, I like that. Because you know what's interesting? I think about my own story, and there were times in my own career where I would see like other people and I'd be like, man, if only I could make that much. And then I would make that much and then more. And then I was like, but only if I could make that much.
Right.
And that just never ends. So there has to be something else. And you read about this through history. You'd think like some of these people who have these wild epic falls, you'd think they have it all, but there's always that something that's missing. So the question is, what is that?
No, and I agree with that. You define your happiness as something else apart from money. However,
I mean, yeah, well, okay, go ahead.
I've also been in places and in spaces and in experiences where I have not been able to pay my own bills.
Right.
And have bill collectors, and that is stressful, and that can make you sick. But money can take care of that.
Well, and
it releases some stress.
that goes towards the stewardship conversation.
Yes.
How much money do you make?
Enough.
Could you use a little more?
Yeah, honestly, I wouldn't mind. Anybody could use a little more, you feel me?
Sure.
Don't get me wrong. Hitting the lottery would be fun,
That'd
but
be nice.
will it answer the happiness issue? I don't know. I mean, you read all these people who are like, oh, I got so much money, but I'm miserable.
Yeah.
And they can't figure it out. Thank you for doing that, Kenny.
Yep.
Nicely done. This is the TJ Show.
Hey, it's Amelia Retaller.
And Evan Lazarus.
And this is Girls Rewatch Podcast, a podcast about girls,
TV,
and girls on TV.
We spent the last 2 years watching every episode of HBO's Girls, written by Lena Dunham. We spent time analyzing the character dynamics,
Compared the culture then to the culture now.
and asked our guests important questions like,
Girl, what girl are you? And girl, did we have fun. We got to talk to iconic guests such as Zasha Mamet, Andrew Rannells, and even Judd Apatow. Now it's time for us to dive into our new era where we will be rewatching every episode of Abby and Alana's Broad City.
We're so excited to be walking down memory lane in army jackets, little vans, and fugly jeans.
So get in that subway car headed to Gowanus from Astoria because, girls, it's time to hack into Broad City.
I wish there was a train that connected Astoria to Gowanus.
Be sure to follow along on our journey by subscribing to the podcast. We release new episodes every Tuesday.
This is the TJ Show, and it's one of the most important segments we do on our program. It's in honor of my dog, Luna, who, by the way, turns 13 years old this weekend. She's a senior baby.
No, happy birthday, Luna.
That's right. We had to start Luna's Animal Tales, a segment where we feature the biggest stories in animal headlines, because my wife Jess would leave the house, turn the radio on. She was so bored with our show. Luna would pass out, fall asleep, and we realized it was because we were only talking about human-related issues. So that's why we just throw out the biggest stories in animal headlines. She's at full attention. Her favorite moment, listens for the whole show just to hear this. Let's start in California. A herd of over 100 goats escaped. The goats were being used for fire prevention. Goats are amazing. They'll eat like poison ivy. They love it. It's like a snack for them. They were grazing on dry vegetation to reduce wildfire risk. They broke through a fence. It started with just a few, then the rest followed. The jailbreak led to a bunch of goats wandering onto the road, creating a hazard for drivers. Whole scene was caught on video, as everything is caught on video. And I would imagine if you're in your car, as long as the goats don't mess with your car, it's got to be one of the coolest things to see.
Right.
You got goofy goats walking all over the place. 2 farm dogs came to the rescue, helped to herd the goats, and eventually got them all under control. So multiple animals there. Scientists discovered an estimated 5.6 million ground nesting bees living beneath a cemetery in Ithaca, New York. The species of bees has been known to inhabit the area since 1935. Can you imagine this? Just to put that in perspective, usually a typical honeybee colony has about 30,000 bees. So we're talking an enormous aggregation of bees. The discovery highlights cemeteries as important habitats for pollinators. I wonder, I guess, does this bee make honey? I would think they do, right?
Well, it pollinates plants at the very least.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'd go digging in the cemetery for that, although you probably shouldn't mess with
Probably
that.
shouldn't do that.
No. No, but that's so cool that they've just been there unharmed and doing very well. Then there's a large beaver making an unexpected trip to a Canadian grocery store, walks right in, realizes he made a mistake, tries to get away, the automatic doors closed.
No, poor guy.
So they had to bring in a rescue crew. They non-forcefully coaxed the beaver back outside where it was released. They said the beaver is not armed or dangerous, but it does have a huge tail, so beware. And thankfully, the beaver's okay. Yes, Kenny?
I have an honorable mention, Luna's Animal Tale, for today.
Great, go ahead.
It's my fiance's birthday. It's also her mother's birthday, and they're spending the day together. Then I'm going to take them out to Olive Garden later tonight. But when Allison gets home later, she'll be surprised with a clean litter box for our cat, Baby Girl.
What a hero.
Wow.
I'll be cleaning the litter box today.
Yeah.
Later.
You're doing something that you should be probably be doing.
Well, in all fairness to Kenny, though, that cat hates him with a passion. So it's got to be hard to clean that cat's litter box.
Not because the cat hates me, it's just disgusting.
Well, there's a bonus Luna's Animal Tale. This is the TJ Show, and those are the biggest stories in animal headlines. Joe in North Carolina, what did you want to say to Kenny?
I want to say to Kenny, like, your wife is a lucky lady.
Well, it's the fiance, so she still has a way out at this point. Still has an escape route. Now,
I agree with you. She is very lucky.
Why is his fiance so lucky?
Dude, from what I hear, you just talk awesome about your fiance, and
you just think Kenny's a good dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a nice little endorsement.
Well, thank you for recognizing that. It makes my day. Appreciate it.
Joe, tell me, what is the most exciting thing in your life right now?
So more of like when, what was it, a few weeks ago I told you guys I'm getting married?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that still on?
Yeah, we took our engagement photos Saturday.
Sweet.
How'd it go? You like the way you look in pictures? I have a hard time with that for me.
Yeah, they all came up pretty awesome.
Good.
That's good.
We've got our wedding photo on the wall, and it's great, except for the part with me in it. That's the part that, I wish they had AI back when they edited those photos that could put a new head on me.
No.
Oh, yeah.
You love yourself, TJ.
I do. I love myself. I'm very grateful to be alive, Joe.
Yeah, man.
And I'm also grateful that I get to be alive, and there's a wife. I wake up, and she's there. It's very exciting.
And you're lucky too, man. You got an awesome wife from what I hear, like on the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty great. I'm not married to her, but I co-sign that.
Yeah, Joe, it's awesome. So let me ask you this, Joe. You're about to get married. You marrying up or down?
I guess I'm marrying up. I mean, my
right answer.
family
It's the only right answer.
It's a trick question.
Yeah.
Yeah, but actually, in my case, it's very true. I did marry up big time. It's awesome. Although I do have something to offer to the relationship, which is great. But she's a miracle.
Good.
Bro, let's do a nerdy high five miracle over the phone. We got married, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
This is cool. It is cool. Were you cool in high school, Joe?
Yeah. I mean, I was just there in high school. I mean, really.
Yeah, me too.
Well, TJ was barely there.
Yeah.
He barely went to class.
Isn't it fun that we get to have this moment talking about our wives, your soon-to-be wife, my wife, and would you ever think there'd be a day where we'd be in front of someone cool like J-Bo and saying, look at what we've done. Look at what we've accomplished after all those years in high school.
Look at me now.
Look at me now. There's a girl that likes me. And you too, Joe.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, Joe, thank you for sharing that with us. Glad everything's still headed in the right direction. Congrats on your pictures.
Are you guys done with your love fest now? You guys are good with your bro fest?
Yeah, we had to have like a nerd
Oh,
celebration.
Okay. You had a moment?
Yeah, it was awesome.
We're going to go to the gym later and lift weights.
Well, Kenny claims he was cool in high school. I would have included you, but you said you were one of the most popular kids.
I was class president, class clown, most outgoing.
He bullied people like you and me, Joe.
That's not true.
Yeah. But, TJ, I want to tell you a joke real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to tell a boxing joke, but I forgot the punchline.
Oh.
Oh, well, next time you call us.
Good.
TJ.
Stop,
Yeah, let us know when you remember.
That's good.
All right, Joe.
We got it.
You have a good one.
You too, man.
Love you,
you
man.
take care, Joe.
Bye. You know, it's Record Store Day tomorrow. We're excited. All of us use vinyl still, except for Kenny.
Yeah, I don't take care of my things. I would break the records and I
It's
don't know.
one of my favorite parts of life. I have dinner sometimes with the family, hit play, and then it's like, oh, here's a jazz album that I won at an auction for 50 cents. It's
I
very
tell
exciting.
Alexa to play whatever I want. She does it. It's great.
But there's a guy that we know, Evan Toth, go way back with him. He owns the Sharp Notes, which is a record store in Paramus, New Jersey. And so tell me about Record Store Day. Maybe if somebody doesn't care about vinyl or they don't understand why it's cool. Why does it matter? And what is your shop all about? And what record stores do across the nation? Give me the elevator pitch on it.
Well, Record Store Day started in 2007, and really the thing that people should know that differentiates it from other stuff is it was really an attempt to highlight independently owned record stores, which ours is. It was a push to get people in the door to say, hey, there's some cool stuff. You can only get it in these places and show up. And it really, over the last, since 2007, it really has blown up into something huge. This year, the media coverage on it has just been something I've never really seen before.
Yeah, it's weird how it just continues to get more and more popular. And I don't know what it is, but when you turn on that record, you hit play, it's not connected to a screen. There's something peaceful about it. It's got a warmth to it.
There's a crackling to it, kind of like the way a crackling like a fire. It just feels comforting, yes.
That's a great thought, too. So are there any releases this year that are coming out, getting all the attention or getting the headlines?
There were a lot of really cool things that are coming. Bruno Mars, he's got a thing coming out called Collaborations, and it's got all of his collaborations with Mark Ronson and Lady Gaga and stuff like that. So that's going to be a big one. Pink Floyd has a huge box set coming out. It is 4 LPs, crystal clear vinyl LPs, so it looks cool. Wow. It sounds better if it looks cool. And that's going to be live from the Los Angeles Sports Arena. That was on April 26, 1975. So it was a mid-'70s show from Pink Floyd. That'll be an exciting one that people will be looking to pick up for sure.
I know for me, when I walk into a record store, I feel like I'm going back in time, but not in an old kind of way, but just more like a classic kind of way. I just really like walking in there. And there's like a certain smell about it, too, that I like.
Absolutely. It's a whole olfactory experience. The smell, the touch, all the visuals of the album covers, it's all there. So that's what's great about a record store.
Evan, thank you so much for giving us another reminder that we need to get to the record store. I know, Heather, you're going to be out there this weekend.
I'll be somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. And
Finding what I want to find.
Continued success with the Sharp Notes.
Thanks so much, TJ, J-Bo, Heather, Kenny, everybody. It's great to talk to you again, and we're here for you.
There you go.
Awesome.
Evan Toth.
Be good out there. Congrats again, and keep up the good work.
Thanks. It's great talking to you. You take care.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
We've got Cecily in Greenville, North Carolina. Hey, Cecily.
Yes, I'm here.
Did you just hear Kenny sneeze into the phone?
God bless you.
Yes, I did. Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you, Cecily.
You bless yourself?
Nobody else was until Cecily.
Do you know how many times I've sneezed in this room and I've had to bless myself too because no one's blessed me?
Well,
so that's hilarious.
I think they teach in broadcasting school you are not supposed to sneeze on the radio.
I
Is that
tried
true?
to hold it in.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Cecily,
that's okay. That made my day.
No, you know what's funny? That's something that over the years I've actually heard that, like where people have serious, like, broadcasting professors will say, you never Sneeze on the radio, or you don't cough. You know, they actually have a button in the studio. They call it a cough button, and it's like something they train you on. And so I like that. Listen, I'm a fan. I collect sneezes. Yesterday, Cecily, you know, I have one of those Ring cameras surveilling myself right in front of my front door, and I felt a sneeze coming, and I literally sneezed in front of it to make sure it was captured. I'm going to play back that audio in a little bit, okay?
Okay.
It's one of the reasons why you listen to this show, because we try to capture sneezes. So I'm just messing with you, Kenny.
Wow.
Great job.
Thank you, sir.
Way to sneeze in front of a microphone. Anyway, Cecily.
Bless you, Kenny.
Tell me, what is the most exciting part of your life right now, Cecily?
Right now, I just went back to school to get my adult education, and I'm going to be doing bigger and better things and making more money.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Whoa, okay, well, what are the bigger and better things?
So far as the workforce field, but I do want to own my own small business.
Hey, good for you.
Nice.
That's very exciting. And what's the big money? How much we shooting for?
We're looking at $100K for each year.
Okay,
there we go.
Let's make it each week. Why don't you?
Yeah, we can do that
take
too.
it.
But I just had some kind of focus to get started. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think that's beautiful, Cecily. A lot of times we like dream of these things, and then our whole life passes us by, and we can look back and be like, "Whoa, wait, why didn't I do more of that?" And this is, you know, these stories are so hard. It's like every story I read from someone that I admire, you think like, oh, maybe it just happened for them. It is never the case. It always requires these first steps of faith, and then people come alongside you. We need a community. So it sounds like you're doing exactly that.
Yes, sir. And it opens up to the big wide world of things that you didn't know about. You know, once you take that first step, then everything will sail right on into place.
Yep.
Well, I can almost guarantee you, Cecily, someone needs to hear that today, and I'm glad that you're living it. So keep doing what you're doing.
All righty, I will do.
And
y'all
yes,
keep
Heather.
playing that music, keep me motivated, and keep me moving.
Yeah,
definitely.
We will, Cecily.
Because you know what? I got one more thing to tell you guys.
Sure.
Because I just might make you my baby.
I'll be your baby. What do I got to do to be your baby?
Hey, I'm going to tell Jess, you better relax with all that.
Well, no, I mean, like, okay, we'll figure that out.
All right.
Have a great one, Cecily.
Thanks for calling.
All right, thank you, and y'all have a great weekend.
You too.
All right,
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Kenny sneezed right to the phone.
So disrespectful.
I put my face in my shirt.
Right. Well, anyway, I told you that I had a sneeze coming on strong, and I jumped outside of my house. I knew my Ring camera was there. I wanted to capture it. And look, I have the audio right here. Listen to this. I'll try to catch another one of those over the weekend.
I'll give that an 8.62 on a scale of 10.
Tough judge.
Now, it is Record Store Day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Heather, you are going shopping this weekend. You do it every year.
Yeah, my husband and I go. We love vinyl, and we love that the Record Store Day exists.
And so Heather has put together a shopping list for all of us. I'm willing to hear this. Go ahead.
I just want to, I feel like Record Store Day will have something for everyone, so I found something that everyone in this room might like, and I would like to try and get it for you.
Go ahead. Go around the room.
So for TJ, there's a Tony Bennett live MTV Unplugged album coming out. And I just assume that you like Tony Bennett because you're old, right?
No, I'm not, first of all, not that old.
We're the same age.
Just turned 40 not too long ago.
We're exactly the same age.
And I'm fine with getting old. Old people are some of my favorite people to hang out with.
No, but I just feel like you would like Tony Bennett.
Absolutely.
Who has old vibes?
Who doesn't
You know
love
what I'm saying?
Tony Bennett? But I have had old vibes since I was 6.
Okay,
I
you're
used to
an old
like,
soul.
I liked hanging out with my grandpa. And by the way, that is very cool. The MTV Unplugged shows were really special. One of my favorite albums is actually an Eric Clapton MTV Unplugged.
Nice.
Back when MTV, they don't even exist anymore, right?
Not with music.
Yeah, they used to do these beautiful, like acoustic, stripped down shows. They were awesome.
I have a Nirvana one, which is really cool.
Oh yeah, no, I know about that one too.
And then for J-Bo, they have an Olivia Dean BBC Radio 1 live where she does
There
The
you go.
Man I Need.
Yes, everyone knows me.
And then there's
Yes.
another song on that record too that's a cover. The piece de resistance is for Kenny. I think this is the most perfect thing, and I know you don't have a record player, but I think you'd want it anyway. It's Adam Sandler, They're All Going to Laugh at You, that came out in 2000. It's orange, and it comes with stickers and magnets and an air freshener.
Oh, that's a classic one.
Yeah.
I remember that. They're all gonna laugh at you.
It's a comedy album, and I think that's something that you'd want.
That's good because you know something that you can't get that on Spotify or the streaming services or anything like that.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they don't have a license for it.
Adam said no.
There's limited Adam Sandler comedy albums on those streaming services for whatever reason. I don't know why.
Listen, if you see the Tony Bennett album, pick it up for me, and I would appreciate that. Thank you.
The thing with these exclusive, drops is that they only make a certain amount, so it will be hard to find. Not everyone is going to get everything they want, but if I can find them.
Nice.
I got
that
you
also
guys.
means the prices are going to be marked up. So, TJ, you going to pay for that?
Yes.
Oh, I thought
Yeah,
you
no,
were
I expect Venmos.
Oh, I thought you were getting it as a gift.
No, I'm just doing the research and I'm
thought
just
about
going.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
But if you want to pay me back, that'd
All
be
right,
great.
tell me how much it is.
Yeah, I will.
All right, this is the TJ Show, and happy almost record store day.